Hello everyone, my name is Mason the Brock Henderson, and for those of you who have watched my channel before, you're probably wondering right now, why on earth is he talking in a British accent all of a sudden? Well, it's because this show has really, it's just messed up my mind so much that now all of a sudden I've changed accents out of nowhere. It sort of happened. I can't explain it, but yeah, what the bloody hell just happened in this episode? It was just sorry. Sorry, I'm gonna stop before I offend any British people. But seriously, what the hell? It's like. The best way I can describe it is that it's like the show just almost went too fast for itself. It just all happened, and I'm still kind of reeling from some of it. And then all of a sudden it hits me at the end with some more information that just kind of blows me away, and so let's talk about it. This is the season premiere of season 3. Flashpoint. I don't think this episode needs any introduction. A lot of people watching the previews, we knew that's what this was going to be. It was going to be Flashpoint. I didn't know a whole lot about Flashpoint. I've heard it talked about a lot because I go online and I look up what is Flashpoint exactly. So I looked up what Flashpoint is, and pretty much it's what happened in this episode. It's just he goes back in time, changes time, comes back, and now they're at a Flashpoint where it's a completely different timeline. He's living in a different time than his own. And so I kind of expected when they started building that up in the previews, and they had the Comic-Con trailer that dropped the Flashpoint bomb and just kind of talked all about it. I honestly thought that was going to be at least half of season 3. I felt like that was going to be a big part of season 3. And the interesting thing is, it's over. It was just this one episode. By the end of this episode, he decides, okay, I need to change it back. I have to go back because pretty much they've already been in this for 3 months. So basically from when last season ended to now, he's been living in this Flashpoint era. And so it's had enough of an effect on him that if he doesn't change it soon, within this episode, pretty much it's going to be stuck like this forever. Like there's no changing. It's going to be permanent. So it's kind of like, while yes, this was an amazing episode, I think my one gripe is that I wanted more Flashpoint. And I'm pretty sure a lot of fans of the comics who know about Flashpoint, who know about the Flash, I'm pretty sure they're wishing there was more Flashpoint. They were wishing it was a bigger part of the season. But from a non-comic book person who wanted to see what Flashpoint was all about, I feel a little bit like disappointed that there wasn't more to it. I wanted to see him coming back from changing time, and what all has changed. Well, there's this, and then there's this, and then there's this. We get that change, but a lot of it we're getting 3 months out. So it's almost like he started accepting some of the stuff going on in this timeline. He already knows that Iris doesn't know who he is, and so we're getting him talking to her for the first time in this timeline. I don't know, it's kind of, I wanted to see more of he gets back, he experiences his dad and mom are still alive for the first time. He experiences seeing Joe not be his father for the first time. He experiences seeing Iris and she doesn't know who he is for the first time. He experiences seeing Kid Flash for the first time. We didn't get any of those experiences. We just got, he's 3 months into it, and he's happy, he sees his parents all the time. He's finally worked up the courage to talk to Iris, and she said yes to a date. He's having a pretty good time at his job. Kid Flash is a hero in the city now, so they don't need the Flash anymore, so he can take it easy, relax. But the sad part is that one of the major parts of his life for the past 2 seasons have been Cisco and Caitlin. And the fact that he has not even looked them up 3 months into it just kind of, it feels a little bit off to me. I feel like, knowing Barry's character, Cisco is one of his best friends. Caitlin is a friend that he has really grown close to. They've had moments where it feels like, not really a romantic connection because it's been mainly eyes for Iris most of the time. But, Cisco, best friend, for sure. Like, the jokes they make, the stuff they talk about, they are best friends. And, I think that them taking the picture in Earth 2 at the S.T.A.R Labs, I think, kind of typifies what their relationship is like. He and Caitlin, also really good friends, have a lot of emotional connection because of the loss that they've shared. So the fact that he's just now looked them up, the fact that he just now found out Cisco owns S.T.A.R Labs and it's now Ramon Labs, the fact that he finally finds out, oh, Caitlin's not even really a scientist anymore, now she's an eye doctor. All of this stuff that changed, you would think that would be one of the first things he goes to do. He's like, oh, I need to go find Cisco and Caitlin. He doesn't. He just doesn't even think about it, which, that is kind of an issue for me. That completely goes against what I know Barry's character is. So, while that is a minor issue, and I don't think it takes away from the episode overall, it is kind of an issue and something I wish they would have addressed. Why didn't he go look them up instantly? Why did he wait so long to talk to Iris? Why didn't he immediately start talking to her, build up a friendship, and then ask her out? All these little things, I wish they would explain it, but now that Flashpoint is over, it's almost like I feel like it's never going to be explained, ever. So, anyway, that out of the way, the rest of the episode, really, really good. You've got Wally West is now Kid Flash, so it's interesting to see him being the superhero. He's already got a speedster villain that he's got to fight against called Rival. What a dumb name, though. Just like, really? Rival? But, they have an interesting little battle. The guy, Rival, he has an interesting costume. You've also got kind of Barry dealing with some personal life stuff. Joe is pretty much... like, you can see how much his life changed because he didn't really have... I don't know. It's very strange to see what happened there, too. Like, why did that happen to him? Because it feels like since he had Iris and Wally, you would think that he would still be the same father that he was to Iris and Barry. And you gotta wonder, maybe Barry not being in his life kind of changed that a little bit. Like, maybe that aspect of his life changed. I don't know. It was weird to see him so down on his luck, and this is all coming because Barry was not his kid. Like, I understand Barry is a great kid to have, but does he really affect your life that much to where you go from being a great cop to an alcoholic cop, that just doesn't do his job? So anyway, it was interesting to see all of these little changes in their lives. Then at one point Barry finds out about Wally being Kid Flash and tells him, I'm going to help you. All the while he's slowly losing his memories of the other timeline. He lost his memories of Iris, he lost his memories of Cisco, and that's when he's like, I need to know what's going on. Goes and talks to Reverse Flash, who he's had locked up for quite a while. The dialogue between them at the very beginning of this episode, like one of the first scenes, it shows them talking to each other. It feels like they've known each other for years. And the funny thing is, they kind of have, because he did take over Harrison Wells. But this Reverse Flash, I don't know, it worked really well. That the dialogue was really good, the emotion was there, it was very emotion heavy. In fact, there were a lot of moments in this that were really emotion heavy, with Iris and Barry, with Barry and his parents, with Barry and Reverse Flash. Like, there were so many good emotional moments that I think they captured very well. And that first scene was easily a tone setter for this episode. The back and forth between them. Reverse Flash, Eobard Thawne, the guy that plays him, does a really good job of being a bad guy. He's even got the spittle flying out. And so did Barry at one point. Pretty sure they both had spittle. When spittle's coming out, that's when you know it's an intense conversation. So that's a little side story going on. He claims to know everything that's going on, what's going to happen to him, and Barry's like not listening to anything he says, and it ends up coming back to bite Barry in the butt. Try saying that 10 times fast. Bite Barry in the butt, bite Barry in the butt. Sorry. I don't know why my brain does what it does. So, yeah, you've got all that going on. You got Kid Flash versus Rival. Barry starts helping him out as the Flash. And you finally get to the final battle where Barry's like, I'm going to help you defeat Rival. So they go meet him. Wally's just like, I got this. And just like, dude, you're an idiot. And actually does handle him pretty well. And I'm just like, really? Like, you could do this the whole time and never did. And then all of a sudden, Rival stands up, stabs him from behind with a pipe. And I'm just like... So either Wally's just too overconfident and that's why he just got stabbed, or Rival was pretending to be not as good as Wally is fighting and that's why he got stabbed. Maybe. I don't know. It was, it was just kind of like, what? First of all, if Wally could beat him up that easily, why hasn't he done it until now? And secondly, what? Why did Rival wait until? Or why did Wally get so confident like that just to turn his back on him? And the ironic thing is, Barry does the same thing later on. Like, he turns his back on him, and he goes to try to stab him, but Joe shows up just in the nick of time. But it's just kind of weird to me that, okay, you just beat this guy, but he's a speedster. You really want to turn your back on him? Like, does that seem like a good idea? Because it doesn't to me. It seems kind of stupid. But, it gives Barry a reason to fight now, and now he's got to fight to save Wally's life. He's taking him down, and then the memories of him being the Flash go. And so Rival spins up two, like, F3 tornadoes that are, just throwing Barry all over the place. And then Iris says, I don't know how our relationship works, but all I know is I believe in you. I know you can do it. You're the Flash. And all of a sudden, her saying you're the Flash kicks those memories back on of him being the Flash. And so he manages to stop the tornadoes and stop Rival at the same time. Rival plays the whole, oh, you're the fastest man alive, just for Barry to turn his back so he can try to stab him again. Because, like I said, stupid. But Joe shows up and shoots him just in the nick of time. And they take Wally to go get help. Wally, unfortunately, cannot be helped. And so Barry feels like, okay, I need to go back. I have to go back to stop this. I can't let Wally suffer for my choices. And I like, it's a good reasoning. It's a good reasoning to end all of this. I was worried that it was going to be something stupid like, oh, he's losing his memories of the other timeline. I got to go back because of that. That wouldn't, it would make kind of sense, but at the same time, when Vaughn tells him all of this, when he's telling him you're losing your memories because you're using your speed, it's like, he says exactly what I'm thinking. So what? He likes this timeline better. So what if he loses his memories of that timeline? Sure, we want to see that timeline come back because we're the audience. We've been living in that for the past 2 seasons. But I can understand him saying, so, I like it here. But because Wally is pretty much on death's bed in this timeline, that is actually a good reason for him to go back. So I like how that's the reason why he ends up using Reverse Flash to go back. For some reason, they throw in like this one scene where he goes and sees his parents one last time. Once again, very emotional. But he starts to leave, and then like he loses his memory of his parents in the other timeline. Like, okay, I understand he's still losing memory because of this, but I don't know. It was just kind of weird that. Well, I guess it does kind of make sense now that I think about it. Like, because he lost his memories of Iris when he's talking to her, he lost his memories of Cisco when he was talking to him. So I guess it does kind of make sense that he started to lose his memories of his parents when he's talking to them. Okay. It's funny because I'm sitting here thinking about what I'm about to say about it, and all of a sudden it just hit me right now. Maybe that's why they had that scene in. Because it felt kind of needless at first. Just like, okay, I understand he's still losing memories, but why did we have to do that right now? Why can't we just say, oh, he's losing more memories? I don't know. Maybe I'm just a little bit lost. But he goes back to Eobard Thawne, asks for his help, and pretty much Eobard Thawne takes him back, kills his mother, and then brings him back to the present. And just when you think, like, okay, that fixes everything, he pretty much says, see how you like this new timeline. And it's just like, really? You little bastard. Like, he pretty much, if you really want to describe how that last scene went, it pretty much should have gone like this. You got Eobard Thawne talking to Barry, just like, see how you like this new timeline. You thought, didn't you? You thought everything was going to be fine, but it's not. No, it's not okay. Suck it, audience, and runs off. Like, that's pretty much how that last scene should have gone. He should have just turned to the camera and said, gotcha. Psych. Whatever. Something along those lines. Because that's pretty much what it was. It felt like everything was finally back to normal, and then he says, no, it's not. And then Barry goes inside. There's Wally and Joe. And then he says Iris, and they give him a look like, what? I'm just like, oh, are you freaking kidding me? Don't tell me she's freaking dead, because I'd be pissed. She's not. But apparently she doesn't talk to Joe, or I guess any of them, anymore. So yeah, who knows what Eobard Thawne did after he killed Barry's mother. Because, Barry was in a moment where he couldn't use his speed, so it had to be Thawne that took him back. And the ironic thing is, I actually thought about this after the episode. I realized that one of the things that might have changed is, Eobard Thawne stabs Barry's mother, kills her, and can't go back to the present because, he lost his speed. He still has his speed now. So, did he even kill Harrison Wells and take his place in this timeline anymore? And if he did he have his speed still? There's so many questions that can be asked, what does this change? Iris, not being around anymore, that's obviously a big one, but I feel like there's so many other things that could possibly change now that we're going to start getting over the next couple episodes. So even though the Flashpoint, him completely changing history, even though that is over, there's still a semi-Flashpoint going on right now in that something did change. We don't know what yet. There's still a lot of unanswered questions, but it's still kind of a Flashpoint right now, and that's pretty exciting. Just the thought of it's still a different timeline. It's not the same anymore. That's interesting. That's really, really interesting. So anyway, long story short, great episode. I do have a little bit of a problem because I wanted to see more of Barry in this new timeline, but I feel like I can get over it. It's just something that's going to bug me for right now. I want to see more of that. But, overall, the episode was really well done. It was really good. Good emotion involved. Good action involved. I guess the other thing to talk about is the speedster rival. His name is Clarence. Really? Our bad guy is going to be named Clarence this season? Come on. But that shows him. I'm not sure if this was back when Eobard Thawne killed Barry's mother, or if this is in present day. But all of a sudden he hears his name being called. He sits up in bed and goes over to the mirror, and something is scratching on the mirror. Something invisible, and spells alchemy. So I'm about to have to go online and look up what alchemy is, but I'm guessing he's going to be the villain for this season. I don't know for how long, if it's going to be half the season or the whole season. But it's something, we need a main bad guy for the season. It feels like that's who they're going to bring in. I'm guessing he's not going to be a speedster now, because he was a speedster in the other one. I can't imagine why he'd be a speedster in this new timeline as well. If it is, a lot of people are complaining because it feels like every season there's a speedster villain. And, even though there have only been 2 seasons, both seasons, the main villain was a speedster. It would be interesting to see somebody who's not a speedster, but can still take on Barry. That type of thing. I am curious to see what they're going to do there, but it's a good setup for this season. Next episode, the previews for next week look really interesting, look kind of, once again, mind-twisty, all that good stuff. So, really looking forward to this season. Good start. Let me know what you guys think down in the comment section below. What did you like about it? Do you wish there was more Flashpoint like I do, or are you okay with the fact that they sort of cut it off here? One of the main articles that I was reading, well, not an article, but one of the main jokes I kept hearing was Flash Season 6, and it shows 5 other beings of him inside the same room with his mom dying. And this kind of cut that off and said, no, we're ending that here. This is the last time we're ever going to talk about possibly going back and saving Barry's mom, because now Barry realizes he shouldn't do it. He needs to make sure that that's how the timeline stays. So yeah, let me know what you guys think. We can talk about it, discuss it. Leave a like and subscribe for future Flash reviews, and I'll see you at the next one. Peace out.